Okay, so this is Wednesday, um, May 6th, 2026. And I'm actually here at the library doing some writing. I'm in the quiet pod. And I was just thinking, well, first and foremost, I haven't done any of these, um, well, I guess these videos um, utilizing this application to, use voice overlay and then convert and maybe add like an image or add like a video or a recording uh, and then turn this video into an MP4 and then upload it to YouTube. Anyways, it's like that here. This quiet atmosphere and seclusion of the quiet pod here. Um, I don't have any distractions, and the noise cancellation technology is rather fitting and conducive to just I see more polished recordings. And this is actually, I think, this will be what I'll transfer over to in the near future. I'm gonna really look to um, discipline myself with the my writing standards. I got like a few projects that I'm completing and a few projects that I'm starting, and utilizing this space I find is very effective to um, keeping me on track and to helping me reach those checkpoints in um, you know um, lesser periods of time. I find like when I try to write from where I'm currently living, there's just a lot of distractions. And I used the example earlier in a video I recorded, and I just got those like the issues that are experienced in writing um, while I'm here at the Quiet Pod versus writing at home to working out at the gym versus working out at home. And I think this is actually oh goodness, like I think this there's just so many good examples to this that fully illustrate how when you're actually you get up and you move to a place specific with a surrounding that is conducive to maximize or optimize like your results, and you're there for a fixed period of time, like it's like you sit down and you focus it, you hone it, and you're free of distractions. Where you might have the intention to be as productive as possible while at home, but then when you start doing what you plan on doing while you're at your house, so many distractions that come up, and they have a great influence. And so anyways, but also I don't know if you noticed this. I'm using a headset right now. So before I noted that the audio didn't really pick up. Um, uh, I think or the internal speaker for this laptop is underneath and near the front of the laptop. I believe, anyways. I noticed that the sound quality is varying, and it was poor from my experience. This is kind of a pilot run or test run. And anyway, there's a few things I want to talk about, and I love talking about them as they arise and out. They're recorded, they're uploaded, they're documented, and they're stored for others to listen to or just for future use and future reference. So it's wonderful. But I was just thinking about, and this is a very major or a very important aspect that as I'm going through it, I realize, oh, goodness, this is that threshold that I don't think many people get to or have the privilege of getting to, let alone persevere through. Um, and once again, I'll use I'll use this to, um, lifting weights at the gym. Um, there's like a threshold of like many people will start out with, many people start with the same idea, the same desire, and they start up pretty much the same. Go to the gym for a day, a week, 2 weeks, etc. Um, but the one who perseveres and endures until the end, and like by the end, I mean they have like a physique that is extremely, you don't have to have something work out, it's visible, and but they also have the health benefits, and and when you're watching the workout, form is quite good. So experts, like those that are considered experts working out, will look and say, oh yeah, the form is it's mint, it's really well. And their like when you talk to them, their devotion and dedication, like their it's not just the lifting of weight, also like they incorporate the food that they eat with their workouts, the amount of sleep that they get with their workouts, the amount of rest time that they get with their workouts, the intensity that they put their bodies through in the routines. Like they incorporate everything. Um, so, anyways, it's the same with this. In this, so the threshold that I'm talking about, um, I'll liken it once again at the gym to, somebody who's been at the gym now for 3 years straight. So they've gone through those lulls where they want to, quit for like a week off, but they don't feel that 1 week turn into 1 year. And it's really hard to get back to where you were before. But also they've gone through like the pains of the tearing of muscle and then the rebuilding of muscle and then the plateauing on certain machines. So then they challenge themselves by doing more complex and more complex movements with heavier weight, and so now their body's adapting and strengthening and stabilizing and all that fun stuff. It's the same thing with this, with writing. Um, it's okay. It's like I've gone through the just persisting with writing for years upon years, even if nothing's being sold, if nothing's being completed, I consistently write. Um, Even if I'm struggling in an area, I consistently write. Like everything is about forming my life and my thoughts into that of a writer. And it takes a long time to get into that. You have to transition yourself into the role that you desire. And that comes with a lot of sacrifice. It comes with, stepping out of your comfort zone and stepping into areas where you're very novice and juvenile in your understanding, and you feel a little intimidated by the expressed knowledge and understanding that others have. And you stick with it because it's what you set out to do when you keep your promises. And that is like, so I was just to your earlier, and I was thinking, like I know I've lost a lot of respect from a lot of folks. Um, they look at me like I'm foolish for, continually pursuing something that I'm passionate about, but something that's highly unconventional. They look at me like I'm wasting my life. Oh goodness, and they lose respect for you, unfortunately, and you can feel it, you can sense it when you talk to them. They don't talk to you with the same spark in their eyes they used to talk to you. They don't ask you questions like they used to ask you questions. So they no longer see you as like somebody of good counsel or somebody of wisdom or that has wisdom to offer. They no longer invite you over to social settings. When you see them out in public, they're nice to you, they're polite to you, but it's more perfunctory. It's more performative, and so anyways, it hurts in all honesty, but it's part of it. And this is part of like the threshold that I find like I think many people they get near this, and then it's a lot of pressure, and it's kind of like risking everything for just a small chance to make it, and a lot of people are they're not willing to do that. And I find like when people look down their nose at me, or even or they might look at me with pity. I heard one person say like I'm embarrassed for you, and and I like in the past at a lower state of maturation, I would have been very very hurt, and I would have really taken what they said to heart. But and like in this case, I didn't. I just seen somebody who has bought into an idea, that if you talk to them and you get to know them, they're very defensive about the idea that they have bought into, because I don't believe they fully believe in it. I believe they fully believe in the reality that they've invested so much time into it. It would be tomfoolery to back out of it. I don't believe in that whatsoever. I see that the same as like many people who are in relationships and they're unhappy. They're married, but they're not in love. So they just simply have like a roommate that they live together with, And so they'll be very defensive about their marriage, very defensive about the relationship, very defensive about their significant other, but they can never tell you about love. They can never tell you about passion. They can never tell you about leaving everything to receive even just the chance to have all that you've desired, and about like that small yearning that occurs inside of you where you know there's more out there, but it's going to cost you everything to seek it. And so I totally get that from their perspective. What I'm doing is complete tomfoolery because that's the perspective that has housed them and has tethered them to maybe a um, mundane life. And I'm not saying this as an insult. I truly mean like we're talking with some folks. Like they're literally say, "Oh, life's boring. Ah, nothing ever exciting happens to me." Oh, like they just seem miserable. I don't want that. I'm always happy. I'm always joyful. I am very, very privileged, and I acknowledge this privilege to pursue, to have the ability to pursue something that I feel purpose to pursue. So whether I'm making money off it, or whether I'm not making money off it, whether uh, like people are reading my stuff, or whether people aren't reading my stuff, or whether um, like the ones that are considered the most knowledgeable, understanding, and wise in our world say this is wonderful stuff and very brilliant material, or whether they say, yeah, this is mediocre at best. None of those things actually matter to me because I'm not doing this for any other reason than this is what I am certain God has purposed me to do. So this is what I'll do it, and I'll just do it to the best of my abilities. I'm not here to be better than anybody else. I'm always just here to be better than who I was before and to pursue the vision. And in the pursuit of the vision, I learn a lot about myself and I learn a lot about how to navigate through this world and how to give everything my best and how to surrender more of who I am and who I thought I was to God, and then to endure through those hardships and then, learn and receive who God says I am, and so I can develop the fruit of the Holy Spirit and develop and be developed like in terms of my character to be a man of a man who keeps his promises, a man of his word, um, and a man who will see things through regardless of how difficult it is. So that's what I was thinking about this morning. I was just thinking like I know some people look at me like even when I'm walking around, I don't have a book sack, so I have um, like I use like a recyclable or a reusable grocery bag, and I just bring my laptop with me, and I know that when I bring this recyclable garbage bag or sorry grocery bag, people look at me like, oh, he's homeless, he's unhoused, and I would say to them, oh goodness, you're not that far off. Last summer I actually was. It's that crisis season, and praise God, I've he's endured me through it, and I learned a lot from it. But anyways, but those those snap judgments, those stigmas, you can really feel them, and so this is a wonderful opportunity for me to be able to I'm just so happy to be able to live the things that the advice that I give others. I would give others like the advice of no matter like when people look down their nose at you, they're going to do that. But that's reflective of more of like the societal values as opposed to your inherent value. And I love you, God loves you, and these things don't define you. And like your integrity defines you. Being a person of your word defines you. Um, Doing what is right in the sight of God defines you. These other things like the name brand on your shirts and or your shoes, or like the kind of vehicle you drive, or if you don't have a vehicle, those things don't define you. They're nice things, they're luxuries, but they don't define you. And so anyway, so I was here and I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking, it still does hurt, but pray, and I feel very lonely at times in the sense of I'm not. Let's put it this way: I am not the most popular kid. I'm not the most popular kid on the block, but I have a few friends that sincerely love me, and I'm always just myself around them, and I have an interest and a pursuit that I'm going to pursue with all that I am, and I sense and get to experience a level of passion that proceeds purpose, and or does it precede purpose? I'll have to ponder that for a little bit. But anyways, I'm very happy. I'm joyful and I'm healthy and making very positive choices to increase the health that I have and to just to um, to eat to live, so I can honor God by doing what is pleasing in His sight for like the best I know of for the this body that He's provided me with. I want to share this. I just want to share that, especially writing on behalf of like the voiceless, and to get to that level where you're seeing eye to eye and you're on ground level with the struggles and the barriers that they struggle with and the barriers that are presented with them. It's actually a privilege and a pleasure. But please don't get me wrong. There are parts of me that are like, oh, I don't want to be here. Oh, I never was here before. Oh, it's a very difficult realm to exist in, most assuredly. And it's one where it's kind of an easier life when the people around you, um, you know, are always happy to see you and they're always like very inquisitive of what you're doing. But when you're kind of treated um, like kind of like a strange person or somebody who's just merely tolerated. Goodness, you can really feel it and sense it, and it definitely has an impact on you. But this is part of like being resilient and part of persevering. And you know what? Like I'm here, and I wouldn't trade this for anything. I'm so delighted to have this opportunity, and I will persevere through this by the power of God. So I will focus on God and allow His strength to strengthen me through this, and in His comfort to me through this. So, anyways, yeah, I'm very pleased to share this, and now I'm going to resume taking a little break from the writing. I've been writing for a while, and I've been listening to some some sports talks. It's just a nice little respite, and then I'll get back